right, guys, I just want to share this with you. Quentin over at Deadwood Casting and Turning sent me a Christmas card. That shows you how far behind I am on my mail calls. Anyway, thank you so much, Quentin. I really do appreciate that. He sent me a magnet, which will definitely end up on my lathe, and a sticker for my board. I'm going to proudly post this up on the board. Deadwood Turning and Casting. Go check them out. All right, guys. Leo over at EMGI and Heather at Spirit Wood, Stone and Bone have put forth a challenge for March to make some kind of a segmented bowl. And I love working on segmented stuff, so I decided I'd join in. My lathe is only a 12-inch swing over the bed, so I want to make a larger bowl. I want to make like a 14-inch bowl. So I'm going to go ahead, my head spins, so I'm going to go ahead and hang the piece over the side of the lathe. I've done that once or twice on certain pieces, but I want to try to start utilizing that feature on the lathe a little more. So I'm going to go ahead and put together a feature ring, a large 14-inch. For me, it's large. If you have a bigger lathe, it's nothing. But so I'm going to make a 14-inch feature ring out of this maple and wenge. I'll write it down. You know how it goes. It's beautiful wood. I'm going to make little segments with inserts in them, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting some angles into the maple so I can insert my wenge or wenge feature highlights, and we'll get going from there. So let's get busy. So I have the saw set at 30-degree angle, which I'll cut angles into this maple so I could add my wenge or whatever. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut oversized pieces, then kind of center my inserts on there, and then cut the outside angles at the end. So from here to here is more than enough that I'll need. So my two angles should be approximately right there. So I'll cut this one. All right, so what I did was I cut the 30-degree angles in this block. I cut these little inserts with 30-degree angles on them so they kind of fit in there. I'm going to show you how I glue up this one, and then I'm just going to repeat the process over and over till I get all my segments. We're going to use a rub joint. Just going to rub this, make sure it's all covered. Rub it, rub it, rub it. You'll actually start feeling it get a little bit tacky. And you leave it like that. Just be careful, the center, when you squeeze it, the center is going to want to pop up because of the angles. So you got to kind of hold it down while you do your rub. Don't worry about the mess of the glue. We're going to clean it all up after. And that's pretty much it. We'll let this dry. We'll clean them up. And then we'll cut our 15-degree angles on them. So I'm just going to repeat this process 12 times. I'm going to start cleaning these up on the sander. All right, I cleaned these up. I'm going to go ahead and cut the other side and glue all my inserts in, clean it up again, and then we'll cut the angles and hopefully get a good ring out of it. So let's go ahead and start cutting the other angle out. All right, I cleaned these all up. I measured them all, the full length of them, and I picked the shortest one. Then I picked the shortest side of the shortest one. And then I came up with a measurement of 1 inch 400. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark these all at 1 inch 400 on the outside, you know, from the insert to the outside of the block. I'll mark it 1 inch 400. I'll mark each one of these blocks like that, and that'll be where I cut my 15-degree angle. So I'll cut a 15-degree angle here and here, and that'll give me 30 degrees, which will give me my 360 to make my ring. So I'm going to go ahead and mark all of these and start cutting my 15-degree angles. All right, I reset my saw. I used this little gauge. I made sure it was 90 degrees. I made a scrap cut. I made sure it was 90 degrees. Then I offset it to 15-degree angle. So now I know it's 90, and I know I'm cutting a 15-degree angle. So now I'm going to start cutting my 15-degree angles on all my segments. All right, I cut all my angles that you just saw. I dry fitted it, and it looks really good. It came out nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it up. And this ended up being, it's like 16 inches, right? 16 inches wide. A little bigger than I thought it was gonna be, because I just tried to maximize the block that I had instead of, you know, I think a measurement for a 14-inch ring is like 3.83 or something like that, and this is like 4 inches or whatever it is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and glue this up, and then we'll continue making the rest of the bowl. I got this piece of cherry mounted on my worm screw. I'm going to go ahead and shape it out to use for my base for this segmented bowl. So this cherry came out beautiful. This will be the base. I got a spot for my emblem. This is beautiful. I didn't finish it off here, and I'll start gluing the rings on. So that'll be the base. All right, so this ring will not fit through my planer. I can't do it on my sanding disc. So what I did is I made this kind of faceplate thing, and I centered the ring on here the best I can. I'm gonna hot glue gun it on here. All right, this doesn't have to be perfectly centered. Basically, it's just so I could clean the surface of it. What was more important, that it was flat. So I got it on here flat, I glued it down, centered it somewhat just by eye. Now I'll be able to turn my headstock and just clean the surface of this, so I'll be able to glue it on, so I have a nice flat surface to glue onto my bowl. So we'll get this on the lathe. Hopefully it won't fly away, and we'll clean it up. So I'm going to try to make this go wider quicker than making this too tall of a bowl. So I'll put these on. I'll kind of shape them out. More of like a dish kind of thing. I got this one for here. And then the main ring, which you saw me put on the wood faceplate kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean up that feature ring, and then take it off of that faceplate. Then I have to put this one on the faceplate, and I'll glue these up and have them start drying. So let's get that done. All right, I got my feature ring all mounted up on this plate. Got my little extension out here. I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty old bowl gouge. And all I want to do is clean up this surface, get it flat, so I can glue it onto the other ring. So let me get masked up and everything, and hopefully it won't go flying. Let's get it done. All right, that cleaned up nicely. A little nerve-wracking, but it worked just fine. I'm gonna put a little denatured alcohol on the hot glue. All right, I'll clean this up a little. and then I'll glue my other ring on here. I'll bring you guys back. I got it all sanded down to 320. I covered it in sanding sealer. Now I'm going to use my Axe products. Well, here it is, my contribution to the March segmented. Look down below for all the links. It's 15.5 inches across. It's about 5.25 inches tall. All in all, it's a good looking bowl. Maple, wenge or wenge, and a cherry bottom. I'm not liking this bottom too much. And I had a couple issues with joints, but all in all, it's a good looking bowl. I'll give you guys some close-ups in a minute. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, like, dislike, but most of all, leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I try to reply to them all. Thank you guys so much, and check out the links below.
And sit down.